This video was recorded during the COVID-19 lockdown. Due to technical issues, its release was delayed. We extend our sincere gratitude to all the guests who participated and apologize for the postponement. Please note that the views expressed by the host and guests reflect their opinions at the time of recording and may differ from their current perspectives.
Today's guest is someone who was one of the first persons I thought of when I planned this podcast. I have been following his work at the Kathmandu Post and have listened to his opinions and thoughts on movies. And I was like, I have to speak to this person. So he's an aspiring storyteller, currently experimenting with writing and visuals. Recently, he had written an article on Kathmandu Post where he recommended some feel-good movies, and I was definitely in the mood of watching a good movie. And there was one movie, Tu Hai Mera Sunday, and I was like super stressed. I need to sort of escape from everything that's going on. So I watched this movie, Tu Hai Mera Sunday, based on his list, which was a movie about men trying to escape their reality through football. And that was me escaping my reality watching that particular movie. And a big fan of Avinash Tiwari, like I mentioned, Laila Majnu. So welcome, Ankit, to this show.
Hi, Subin. Thank you so much for having me.
So first of all, how does it feel to be in a podcast where you can talk about movies?
It feels great because spaces you need to be mindful of the space you are occupying. When we are doing a one-to-one podcast, we can talk about my views, my perception about movies and all. So I'm excited for it.
Thank you so much for sort of being in this podcast. Let's start with your favorite movie character that you mentioned, which is Pooh from Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham. When I saw that movie, I hated that character. Like, it was so bratty and everything. And I've obviously grown to like the character, and I think Pooh is so funny. But what is your memory of Pooh, and why do you like Pooh so much?
As far as I remember, I was born in 1998. Movie say 2001 ma aeko थियो. My mom told me that we went to watch that film hall mai. त्यति बेला त्यति memory थिएन. तर पहिला Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham TV मा हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ I used to be excited about Pooh's part in the movie because she was very funny and she made sure her presence was felt throughout the movie. In 2017 or 18 when BuzzFeed made a video on the Pooh wala, त्यसपछि I revisited the film and I was in love with Pooh's character. Sometimes I feel like I want to be like her. The level of confidence. She knows what she wants, खालको पनि छ अनि the attention she gets and all. So त्यो सबै चाहिँ like I aspire to be like her जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई. म अहिले चाहिँ मास्टर्स अप्लाई गरिरहेको छु कि अनि there was this job मास्टर्सको त्यहाँ चाहिँ like के प्लान गर्न सक्छ भन्ने क्वेसन थियो एउटा अनि एउटा चाहिँ मैले I think I will organize a prom night भनेर लेखेको थिएँ कि I've never been into a prom night thing अनि मलाई चाहिँ त्यो पुले तिनीहरू जान्छ नि त्यस्तै गर्नु मन थियो कि
Yeah, I can sort of in a way relate to that the prom and everything, and because I think Hindi movies I was 11, 12. Prom and concept and everything was very new. I think English movies at the time but I guess mirror memories are so different from yours of Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham because at that point of time I was very conservative, especially female characters. For me, the movie was about Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan, Hrithik Roshan. But for me, my most memorable character of the movie is Kajol's character. It was I thought was so funny. Tire puncture garden. क्यों किया? वही मुझे मजा आता है. It was so funny, right? मैले त्यो युट्युबमा पनि स्किप गरेर हेरिरहेको हुन्छ काजलको लाइनहरु in that movie, which I think is one of the most best comedic performances. But also just to add a little more context, because त्यति बेला pop culture and scene and everything was Kareena Kapoor was the upcoming star, and there's one particular scene where Shah Rukh Khan, Hrithik Roshan and beachमा Kareena Kapoor हुन्छ, Pooh हुन्छ, अनि I remember Kareena Kapoor saying in an interview that I was between Shah Rukh and Hrithik and everybody noticed me. In a very Pooh way. It was such a good memory that still stuck with me. Kareena Kapoor was Pooh at that point of time. And that was, I think, one of the best characters that I can think of as well. Now moving on. So what are the other movies that have stayed with you? Either someone that you watched पहिला or watched recently, it's still in your mind?
यस्तो सोच्दाखेरि चाहिँ आफ्नो लाइफ कति एक्सपिरियन्ससँग रिलेट गर्न सक्छ या क्यारेक्टर्सहरू कस्तो छ मुभीमा प्रेजेन्ट गरेको त्योसँग कति रेजोनेट गर्न सक्छ त्यस्तो मुभिजहरू चाहिँ आई थिंक एउटा इन्डिभिजुअललाई चाहिँ उसको मेमोरीमा इन्ग्रेन हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ कि मलाई So मेरो चाहिँ अब लाइफ एक्सपिरियन्स अनुसार चाहिँ कुछ कुछ होता is something that has remained like ingrained in my memory because according to my mother it was my first film that I watched हलमा. I was like 5 months old. तर त्यति बेलाको त याद छैन obviously. तर नि I've watched that film more than 60-70 times होला. Like I can watch it any day. I don't know, there's something about that movie. अब नोस्टाल्जिया हो या आई डोन्ट नो, त्यो चाहिँ एकदमै मेरो मेमोरीमा इन्ग्रेन छ. अनि there's another film जाने तु या जानेन. त्यति बेला I remember that the movie came when I was in grade 6 अनि I think I was in love with my best friend. That I could relate त्यति बेला. अनि I don't know, that film is still like ingrained in my memory के. त्यो हेर्दाखेरि like मैले पहिलाको मेमोरिजहरू याद गर्छु. अनि अर्को चाहिँ एकदमै मेमोरेबल मुभी भनेको चाहिँ आई थिङ्क इट वाज बिफोर सनराइज. I didn't have access or I didn't watch any English films. My English films on connection feel हुँदैन थियो. So it was my like first like त्यो beyond the mainstream English movie चाहिँ त्यो थियो कि. अनि मेरो साथीले फर्स्टमा चाहिँ उसले स्टोरी भनेर चाहिँ दुईजना मान्छे छ लाइक केटाकेटी हुन्छ लभ पर्छ अनि गफ गर्छ मात्रै भने त्यसरी चाहिँ फिल्म हेर्न थाले थिएँ. तर आई वाज इन्टु द्याट मुभी सो मच. त्यसपछि मैले त्यो बिफोरको सिरिज नै सकाएँ लाइक एकै दिनमा. अनि या त्यो एउटा फिल्म चाहिँ आई थिङ्क त्यो इङ्ग्लिस मुभिजहरू हलिउडको लाइक इन्ट्रोड्युस हुन्छ नि लाइक बिसाइड्स दि मेन स्ट्रिम मुभिजहरू. सो या द्याट फिल्म इज मेमोरेबल फर मी.
मेरो पनि one of the best movie series is Before the series. मेरो favorite is Before Sunset because I saw Before Sunset पहिला अनि कन्टेक्स्ट नभएर पनि मलाई त्यो मुभी एकछिन पनि म डिस्ट्र्याक्ट भइन होला. I was with them all the time and long conversations, long takes, and त्यसपछि चाहिँ मैले Before Sunrise हेरेँ I think, and which was like for me अलिकति like underwhelming but still like really good. And Midnight was such a beautiful ending, very realistic, अलिकति dark पनि compared to the other two होला. But yeah, I think Richard Linklater is one of my favorite directors. So movie हेरेको छ मैले. Boyhood is part of the 10 movies for your Daigo series पनि because Boyhood, like you probably know about Boyhood पनि, it's just a beautiful, beautiful movie. Like Richard Linklater and Noah Baumbach who made Marriage Story, you know? Greta Gerwig was also, I didn't know that Greta Gerwig was Noah Baumbach's wife. Well, like, oh my god, त्यति बेला थाहा भएपछि त okay, Greta Gerwig, Noah Baumbach, and one of my favorite makers and their spouses. Like, I think their movies which is like एकदमै dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful. It's the last one. So, okay, those are the characters of movies that you liked. What about movies that you did not like too much? Like, in terms of hate, might be a strong word. But, yeah, I mean, I have so many movies that I hated. Literally hated. Because hallma gayo, paisa tirisakyo, herne paryo, and then I came out very angry. But, like, any particular movies you hated or just despised, didn't like at all?
I have plenty. So, I hated What's Your Rashi? I remember, like, मेरो ठुल्दाजुले चाहिँ it was his birthday and he took us त्यो जय नेपालमा लगेको थियो. अनि it was like almost 4 hours long. अनि हामीलाई अल्छी लागिसकेको थियो अनि कहिले सक्ला भएको थियो. अनि त्यो लिटरली नै एकदम झ्याउलाइसकेको थियो कि कहिले निस्कौँ भइसकेको थियो. अनि छक्का पन्जा सिरिज, छक्का पन्जा मैले साटली एउटा छक्का पन्जा कति हो, छक्का पन्जा 2 दुईचोटि हेर्नु परेको थियो. छक्का पन्जा 1 पहिला हेरेँ मैले एउटा साथीसँग. सो उसले पहिला हेरिसकेको थियो कि छक्का पन्जा 1. तर मैले उसले यो के हो हेरौँ न सबले कुरा गरिरहेको छ भनेर मैले उसलाई जबरजस्ती फेरि हेर्न लगाएँ. पार्ट 2 आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ मैले हेरिसकेको थिएँ अनि मलाई एकदम टाउको दुखेको थियो त्यो फिल्म हलमै लाइक निस्किनु मलाई सकेको थियो. उसले चाहिँ हेरेको थिएन अनि उसले मलाई फेरि हेर्न लगायो कि. सो मैले दुईचोटि हेर्नु पऱ्यो छक्का पन्जा 2. अनि म त लाइक I wanted to cry त्यो मुभी हलमा. मलाई के भइरहेको छ जस्तो भएको थियो. Another movie is ए मेरो हजुर 2. Yeah, okay. That was terrible. That was terrible नै. म त्यो हलमा अरू मान्छेलाई हेरिरहेको थिएँ लाइक फिल्म भन्दा पनि म टाउको दुखिसकेको थियो त्यति बेला. These were the films, नेपाली फिल्म्स भनौँ न. अनि ब्लू पनि थियो एउटा, म झ्याउ लागेको थियो त्यो फिल्म.
Yeah, I guess like for you, because you work in this sector, you'll have to watch these movies even if you don't want to. So yeah, I can't imagine how difficult that might be. So, but yeah, I liked What's Your Rashi. त्यति बेला चाहिँ movies were so difficult to get, हैन? त्यो नयाँ movies. Oh, नयाँ movie आयो, let's watch it भन्ने हुन्थ्यो नि. I think I was one of the best movie audience. Like जस्तो movie दे पनि हेर्दिने, enjoy गर्ने, त्यति critically नहेर्ने, just going with the ride. त्यति बेला चाहिँ अनि जे movie आयो पनि रमाइलो, सलामे इश्क पनि हलमा गएर हेर्यो, कस्तो लाग्यो, राम्रो लाग्यो. झुम बराबर झुम, यस्तो वाहियात movie छ. हलमा गयो, collective experience, I'm with everybody, and I just okay. हेरुन्जेल रमाइलो भयो. Is that a movie that I would watch again? No. होइन अब critically सोच्दाखेरि is it stay with me? No. But the experience of watching it still stay with me. I still remember the story.
Yeah.
Sadly. But yeah, what's your Ashita? I was crying and like Utsani, all the Priyanka Chopras, like especially there's one particular Priyanka Chopra who was widow, I think. Ani, the doctor and like I remember the movie. Actually, Ani then the songs, I would play those songs all the time. I don't know, I'm weird. So yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember recommending that movie to so many people. It's such a beautiful movie. And कति गाली खायो होला. के फिल्म यस्तो पनि भयो याद परेन.
Yeah, like it's a nice concept जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई तर लामो भयो के लास्ट
Lama Boy. Yeah, I think like also मेरो आफ्नो bias was like I was imagining myself as the male character. Like I was going on this ride, invested in it, and storytellerले चाहिँ भन्यो मानिरहेको. So okay. Now moving on. What was the last movie you saw with this start? Do you remember that?
Yeah, so last movie चाहिँ हिजो चाहिँ I didn't complete that, so it can be counted. म त्यो सन्दीप और पिङ्की फरार हेरिरहेको थिएँ अलिकति हेरेँ तर yeah, it was interesting. रमाइलो लागिरहेको थियो. Like I felt both those actors, Parniti र Arjun Kapoor, yeah, they can be good actors. Like they were doing good. जति हेरेँ थिएँ राम्रै गरिरहेको थियो. Like they are directors, actors जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई. So last movie चाहिँ तर like complete हेरेको चाहिँ मैले देवदी हेरेको थियो. So it was for a film club. So we were going to discuss. मैले suggest गरेको थिएँ त्यो film. So yeah, that was the last movie I watched.
I mean, I was listening to the discussions we were having on Devdi, and it was really interesting. Anurag Kashyap is my favorite director. Anurag Kashyap movies I can watch any day, anytime. And I've seen all of his movies multiple times. It was really interesting the conversation you were having on Devdi. I don't know if it came up, but like Devdi being a parody of Devdas, right? Before that, he made No Smoking. Usko movies are all about symbolism, I know, because No Smoking was about his Black Friday being cancelled, his Panch being censored and cancelled, him not being allowed to share his movies, and that he's shared very beautifully through No Smoking, and he just deceiving the audience that this is a movie about anti-smoking. It was about censorship and everything. And Devdi was also his way of getting back at people. Devdas just the movies allow versus award dinjas. Here Devdas, watch this movie, which is a parody of Devdas. Which that's why I love Anurag Kashyap movies. I mean, that's why I was very disappointed with his recent movie Choke, which was like him like shoving down people's throat the idea of RSS and BJP. And his movies are very subtle and they're like very indirect. You have to dive deep into this. But Choke was like, oh, BJP, you are bad. That was the message. So yeah, I really enjoyed that discussion though. Okay, now moving on, like how do you decide to watch a movie? Do you follow certain actors or makers, or like you see a trailer and then, oh, this is or genre specific? Do you decide?
In terms of my movie selection, first I say director lead determine गर्छ who is directing it. अनि reviews as well, because I myself write reviews. अनि म पढ्न पनि पहिलेदेखि पढ्थेँ. अब एकदमै collectively कस्तो रिभ्यू आइरहेछ फिल्मको. Like कोहीले त obviously अब there are so-called critics जसले राधेलाई पनि राम्रो रिभ्यू दिएको थियो. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, because त्यो कोमल बिर्सेँ मैले त्यसको नाम. कोमल त्यसले yeah, it's a very good film, very entertaining भनिरहेको थियो. तर yeah, so कोले रिभ्यू लेखिरहेको छ त्यसले डिटरमाइन गर्छ. स्पेसली चाहिँ म 2-3वटालाई फलो गर्छु के. जस्तै मलाई सुचारिता त्यागीको राम्रो लाग्छ अनि मलाई राहुल देवसाई चाहिँ एकदमै मनपर्छ. The way he analyzes every film हुन्छ नि, his writings and trailer पनि डिटरमाइन गर्छ. But there are times when I don't watch movie generally गर्दा. Like I don't go for sci-fi movies, however great they are. अनि यो superhero movies हरू Marvel, DC, I don't like people can enjoy it, तर मलाई खासै मन पर्दैन. So I don't watch त्यस्तो खालको फिल्महरु चाहिँ जति राम्रो भए पनि.
So also when you write reviews or analyze a movie, what do you take into factor the most in terms of how you enjoyed it, in terms of your own experience? Do you try to get into the head of the maker and directors and actors, and this is what maybe they were trying to say, but it wasn't translated on screen? So how do you go about it? What is that process?
Yeah. So for me, I try to write the raw emotions that I felt after watching the movie. Whatever it is, कुन scene move गर्यो, कुन कुरा चित्त बुझ्यो, कुन कुरा चित्त बुझेन. Like you said, it's also important to understand co-director हो अनि कसले चाहिँ story भनिरहेको हुन्छ. Because at the end of the day, they are the ones जसले त्यो narrative control गरेर हुन्छ नि त. So उनीहरूको intention के हो, उनीहरूको backgroundले I think धेरै कुरा matter गर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ. Because there was this series थियो नि यो Indian marriage wala बिर्सेँ मैले shit nap सीमा आन्टी वाला भएको.
Yeah, सीमा आन्टी वाला.
Yeah, so I started researching co-filmmaker भनेर. So apparently सीमा आन्टीले त्यो filmmaker जसले direct गरेको थियो उसको पनि Like she was also the one, like director पनि सीमा आन्टीको गएको रहेछ, like husband खोजिदेऊ भनेर पहिला, and she also made a documentary on सीमा आन्टी पहिला नै. So त्यही भएर चाहिँ the way सीमा आन्टी is presented त्योले चाहिँ मलाई like help गर्यो के, because सीमा आन्टी isn't shown as अब this problematic woman नि त. अब obviously she is the product of society अनि उसले त clientsहरूले कस्तो requirements भन्छ त्यो अनुसार खोजिदिने हो होइन, तर उसको problematic कुराहरू चाहिँ त्यस्तो देखाएन के. त्यो कुराले पनि म like I try to be more mindful about that. Like director कस्तो थियो अनि कस्तो खालको फिल्म बनायो अनि उसको objective के हो भन्ने खालको फिल्म बनाउने चाहिँ.
Yeah, I think that is Keith, Great Indian Weddings or something, Keith, right?
Yeah.
So that I think gave birth to a new genre in itself, like cringy but bingy, you know. New genre. Because other पनि आए नि त पछि.
Yeah, yeah.
Fabulous Wives, and then I think for many The Circle as well, like cringy but bingy.
Yeah.
And people watch it, even though it's extremely cringy for many, but it is like easy entertainment in terms of you don't have to dimag launu parena. Like it's like watching Purana Govindaka movies, like very cringy. But like start गरिसकेपछि you want to know what happens and you're like waiting for the next punchline or whatever.
Yeah.
So thank you for bringing that up. It just elevates the podcast for standards, widens the audience of this podcast. Okay, so now we'll move on to the next segment. Very original, not inspired from any other chat show or talk show. It's just like supremely original that I thought of, I've been planning for the last 3 years. It's called the Rapid Fire Round. Rapid Fire Round, obviously you'll have to answer these questions really quickly. These will be judged, and best performance of the season will get a really good prize as well.
Yeah.
So let me begin. A movie that made you cry like a baby.
Tari Zamin Par.
Your favorite actor and 3 movies of that actor.
Pass. I can't.
Film character that you absolutely hated.
Every portrayal of Bobby Darling.
Oh yeah, that's nice. A movie you can watch any day, anytime.
Wake Up Sid.
A movie that you like but are embarrassed about liking.
Main Prem Ki Diwani.
An actor you developed a crush on while or after watching. Which one? Which movie?
Every movie. First, I'd say Kapoor and Sons.
Oh, Kapoor and Sons. Oh, one of my favorite. 2 characters from different movies that you think can be in a separate movie of their own.
Pass. I can't think really.
Okay. Choosing between movies, right? Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum or Kuch Kuch Hota Hai.
Kuch Kuch Hota Hai.
A movie that you have not seen but tell everyone that you have.
Every Marvel films.
Okay. A movie that you didn't enjoy watching but have to pretend to be a fan to just act.
2001 A Space Odyssey.
Nice. Your favorite movie of all time that you haven't mentioned, right?
Mr. and Mrs. Iyer.
A movie that you absolutely hated that you haven't mentioned, right?
2001 Space Odyssey.
But you did mention it. Rapid Fire Round. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's a highly overrated movie in your opinion.
Bear in the Mist. यो भर्खरै गिफ्टमा आएको थियो मलाई. I didn't understand why it was considered as a good film.
A criminally underrated movie, and you can't mention the before series because I don't think they're underrated.
Mr. and Mrs. Iyer, I think so. Nobody has seen.
3 favorite movie quotes.
Pass.
Okay, so that was the last question. So that's fine. If you want to take some time and think of some dialogues that have stayed with you, you can say.
Favorite dialogues? Yeah, I can only think of Pooh.
Yeah, I was thinking of good looks.
Good looks. And PhD, pretty ardent, and gotcha. While waiting for Christmas.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Ankit. This was a lot of fun. I think you are in the reckoning to win this rapid fire round because you were very prompt with all your answers and were very witty as well. And just going back to the character that you absolutely hated, like I seriously can't stand any portrayal of not just Bobby Darling, but any character who's a person from the marginalized sexual orientation, gender identity expression, or sex identity. I think like there's a lot of talk about Friends and everything, and Reunion and everything. And I never liked Friends, Bunny. I ended up seeing a few episodes because of those precise reasons, and also he was very white and everything. So that was something that has opened an Pandora's box for me as well. But maybe I'll just have to sadly move on to the next segment, which is Let's Discuss, and which is something about the messaging and the politics of the movies, right? And this is not a discussion where you're like, "Esto movie bannu parcha, esto movie hunu parcha," tyo haina. It is just about your choice and how you decide to like or not like a movie. There's a difference between liking a movie or enjoying a movie or sort of having this immersive experience or the suspension of belief. All are different things, Nita. You know? So, but when it comes to the politics or the messaging of a certain movie, does that determine whether you decide to like the movie or not, or enjoy the movie or not?
Yeah, it does actually. Like if you had asked me this question like 5 years before when I didn't study media, like I studied media for my bachelor's degree. I'd say I would say like a film is about self-expression, just to seriously, pardon and all. But after like spending almost like 2-3 years in media and after like studying, I would say yeah, we need to look at the social political messaging of film. अनि कस्तो खालको मेसेज दिन खोजिरहेको छ, कस्तो खालको पोर्ट्रियल छ, अनि कसरी चाहिँ क्यारेक्टर्सहरूलाई रिप्रेजेन्ट गरिरहेको छ, कसरी नरेटिभ लगिरहेको छ. आई थिङ्क मेरो चाहिँ एकदमै म्याटर गर्छ बिकज फर मी फिल्म इजन्ट ओन्ली फर्म अफ escapism, I believe. हामी कति फिल्मबाट इन्फ्लुएन्स भइरहेको हुन्छ. Like we pick up a few things from few movies unconsciously. It affects our personality. कति कुरालाई normalize गरिरहेको हुन्छ. Like say कन्सेन्टको कुरा गरौँ, हाम्रो हिन्दी फिल्मसहरूमा जहिले पनि कन्सेन्टको भ्याल्यु गरेको छैन नि त. Even नेपाली फिल्मसहरूमा पनि like I remember watching this नेपाली फिल्म, त्यो एउटा सिरिज निकालेको थियो नि 3-4 नाइ नभन्नु ल. So 2 or 3 I remember watching it and it was so problematic. Like the hero was like forcing female lead हुन्छ नि, like follow गरेर होस् या जबरजस्ती भए पनि I love you एउटा भन्नुलाई कस्तो like उसको कन्सेन्टको भ्याल्यु नै गरिरहेको थिएन कि. So yeah, अब त्यस्तो खालको कुराहरूले चाहिँ when you are watching एउटा मासमा हुन्छ नि, obviously त्यो कुरा नर्मलाइज गरिदिन्छ नि त. अब इट्स नट द्याट फिल्ममा चाहिँ नराम्रो कुरा देखाउन नमिल्ने त्यस्तो चाहिँ होइन जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई. कसरी पोर्ट्रे गरिरहेको छ त्यो चाहिँ एकदम डिटरमाइन गर्छ. सो इभन लाइक आई डोन्ट बिलिभ द पिपलहरू हुन्छ नि से द्याट फिल्म एज अ फिल्म 2 घन्टाको हो नि यसको इम्प्याक्ट के हो भनेर. बिकज आई डोन्ट थिङ्क जस्तै अरू आर्टको मिडियम भनौँ न, बुक होस् या अब फोटोजहरू होस् या आर्ट वर्क्सहरू होस्, त्यो चाहिँ कति फर्म्स अफ आर्ट चाहिँ वी कन्ज्युम इन्डिभिजुअली के लाइक एक्लै बसेर गर्छ नि त कहिलेकाहीँ. लाइक वी डोन्ट रिड बुक्सहरू यस्तो मासेसमा. अभियसली अब डिस्कसन भयो एउटा कुरा हो, तर फिल्म त एउटा इमर्सिभ ग्रुप सेटिङमा हेर्छ नि त. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ मासलाई त्यसको इम्प्याक्ट धेरै हुनसक्छ कि अरू मिडियम भन्दा. इभन लाइक आई एम नट ओन्ली अगेन्स्ट ब्याड पोर्ट्रेयल अर प्रब्लमेटिक पोर्ट्रेयल, तर एकदम सिम्पथी देखाएर लाइक एट द एक्सपेन्स अफ देयर मिजरी अर ट्रमा हुन्छ नि, त्यो अनुसार चाहिँ फिल्मलाई चाहिँ हामी प्रोग्रेसिभ हौँ भनेर देखाउने खालको त्यस्तो खालको कन्टेन्ट्सहरू पनि लाइक आई डोन्ट लाइक इट.
Yeah, and just a follow-up question to this will be messaging or politics of the movie bio. But what about the people involved in terms of makers who are problematic, who have history of certain kinds of problematic behaviors in the past? Also actors and Harvey Weinstein, or Woody Allen, Kukura, Salman Khan, Kukura.
Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of because I believe a film is a reflection also of filmmakers and those who are involved in it. If you think a certain thing is normal and you're accepting it, त्यो कुरा चाहिँ तिम्रो फिल्ममा देखायो भने तिम्रो obviously behavior पनि त्यस्तै हो, तिम्रो thought पनि त्यही हो, त्यही नै रिफ्लेक्ट हुन्छ फिल्ममा पनि. I feel so because if you watch the most problematic film like or recent times मा त्यो शाहिद कपुरको कबीर सिंह, the way the director gave interviews हरू, the way he spoke about हुन्छ नि, यही डिरेक्टरले नै यस्तो खालको फिल्म बनाउन सक्छ भनेर म त्यहीबाट हेर्नु मिल्छ कि. हुन्छ नि एक अर्कालाई झापड नहान्यो भने there's no passion in love त्यस्तो भनेको थियो नि त. I think it's also a reflection of filmmaker, actors though. अब तिमीलाई problematic लागेन भने and you are agreeing, that means you kind of prescribe to that thoughts, to that ideas, to that values नि त. So yeah, I think it's a reflection of their views जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई, those who are involved in it.
Yeah, I guess like just to share my bit of it, like especially when it comes to actors, like House of Cards was one of my favorite series, and then I would say House of Cards I cannot revisit or I cannot talk about it because in my head the actor dekhna sath nahi, oh my god, what might have happened during the shootings and the recordings and everything, dimag bata tyo jadai jaदैन. Pulp Fiction was one of my favorite movies. Pulp Fiction हेर्दाखेरि oh this was produced by Harvey Weinstein. And this was like, oh, Tarantino might have been aware of what was going on. And Tarantino looked the other way. And this movie was made out of that process where these things were overlooked. But I can also understand or respect people for whom movie is maybe a form of escapism. They have a nostalgia element also when they watch movies like Pulp Fiction or all these movies. And they just want to sort of forget the stressful day that they have had and just enjoy a movie and forget about that particular aspect. I still remember हामीले चाहिँ त्यो movie हेरेको थिएँ. It was like produced by Weinstein. अगाडि देख्यो and then भयो क्या, like because we were like super stressed, excited to watch this movie, but we don't know producer को थियो. अनि हेरिसकेपछि mood off भइदियो क्या movie हेर्नै मन लागेन होइन. Whole day excited, साँझ हेर्ने बेला त्यस्तो. So yeah, I guess like these things, but at times like not being able to enjoy that nostalgia element is also kind of sad. जस्तो लाग्छ.
मलाई पनि Queen, because Casper was accused of sexual harassment, and it's very difficult to revisit that film, okay? Because for many of us, especially for my generation, it was Dil Chahta Hai for maybe हाम्रो अगाडिको generation, okay? So it was a film that reflected or portrayed हाम्रो emotions कति कुराहरू that we can relate to, as well as it was a film about empowering oneself. But still, like, it will be very difficult for me to watch it again.
Yeah, I think Queen is definitely a movie I cannot watch anymore. I get very triggered when someone mentions Queen, like, oh, राम्रो movie Queen, यस्तो हुन्छ, मलाई चाहिँ गाह्रो हुन्छ त्यति बेला चाहिँ. I really want to sort of respond like in a very aggressive way, but obviously we have to respect other people's choices, and the fact that this movie has empowered and still gives a sense of empowerment to so many people. Yeah, that's kind of very difficult. Okay, we are now moving on to this another fun segment, which is the movie trivia, where I'll be asking 10 questions, and this will also be evaluated, and you'll get a prize if you win. The rules are there are 7 questions with options. If you get the answer right without the options, you get 10 points. But if you get it wrong, then you get a -10. And if you ask for options and if you get it right, you only get 5 points. But if you get it wrong, you get a -5. You always have the option of passing, which gives you no points, but also you don't lose any points as well. The first 7 questions are options. 8 and 9, you have to name the actor who was featured in all 3 of these movies. So you don't get any options. It's a +10 or a -10. Number 10 is a bonus round. Bonus round means you'll be given certain conditions or like certain aspects of a movie, and you have to name the movies. Each answer will give you 5 points. But the caveat is that you'll only have 10 seconds to answer. Final twist. Because some people have Bollywood knowledge, Hollywood knowledge, or Nepali movies knowledge. So there are 3 options you can choose from: Hollywood, Bollywood, or Collywood. So which one?
Bollywood any day.
I feel that based on our summer conversation, you'll get most of them right, maybe without the options. So no pressure, no pressure, no pressure. Alikati tricky is all the questions except for a few. So think it through. Right? It's not as easy as it seems. First question, Aita, what was the name of the actor who portrayed the character of Chatur Ramalingam in 3 Idiots?
Omi Vaidya.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Okay, you get 10 points without the options, which is great. I think your question also without the options answer correct,
Yeah.
Okay, now your Kuch Kuch Hota Hai knowledge will be tested, right? What was the name of Johnny Lever's character in Kuch Kuch Hota Hai? Options, okay. A. Poppy Bhai. B. Tobu. C. Babulal. D. Almeida.
Almeida.
Colonel Almeida is the right answer. 5 points. Okay, I'm obsessed with Karan Johar, so again, Karan Johar question. But this podcast is not inspired by anyone, right? Just letting you know. Coincidental. Which Karan Johar directed movie does not feature Shah Rukh Khan in it?
Student of the Year.
Final answer?
Yeah.
+10. I'm giving you the points. Yeah, it's Student of the Year. Okay. What was Alia Bhatt's second full-length feature movie?
Highway.
Final answer?
Yeah.
+10 again. You've only lost 5 points.
Technically, it was Alia's third movie because only first my Songhars got it, and second was Student of the Year, and third was Highway.
Yeah, that's why I said full-length feature, because like Ugly pani athyo ani Sangharsh pani thiyo. Okay, next, right? What was the name of Sunil Shetty's character in Hera Fairy?
Raju. No. Options.
A. Raju. B. Ram. C. Sham. D. Babu Bhaiya.
Sham.
Sham, final answer?
Yeah.
Oh, +5 again. Okay. Have you seen Drishyam?
Yeah, first one. Malayalam made it, so Hindi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a Drishyam specific question. Right?
Yeah.
When did Vijay
October
Salgaonkar...
2nd.
2 October. Okay.
Yeah. Gandhi.
Okay. Final answer?
Yeah.
+10. Yeah, this is a tricky question. I guess like the meme culture भएको मान्छेहरुले चाहिँ immediately भन्दो रहेछ है, अरूलाई चाहिँ थाहा नहुने रहेछ. Next question. This is a final question with the options. Right? What was the name of Baman Irani's character in the movie Munna Bhai MBBS?
Options.
Dr. Viru Sahastra Buddhya, K. Asthana, Dr. J. Asthana, Dr. Lakhbir Singh.
K. Asthana.
Final answer?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, it's a -5 for you because it was J. Asthana. That was probably the tricky part. K. Asthana or J. Asthana. That's fine. You've been doing really, really well. So that's a minor setback. Okay, I was name the actor. This is त्यति बेलाको pop culture मा एकदमै famous थियो. I don't know if you know. I just letting you know because I don't want to sound very weird by asking this question. Okay, name the actor who has featured in all these 3 movies. I'm using the word featured, so it may not be a long full length word. Hum Saath Saath Hain, Main Hoon Na, and Golmaal Again. Golmaal Again was this movie with the ghost, the booth ko Pariniti Chopra.
Tabbu.
Tabbu, final answer?
Second film कुन भन्नुभएको थियो?
Main Hoon Na.
Oh yeah, Tabbu was there, I think.
Okay. Plus 10 again. You're the first person to get this one right, which is great. I think the कतिलाई चाहिँ त्यो तब्बु भनेपछि and that भनेर भन्ने हुने रहेछ. Okay. Next one. Name the actor who has featured in all these 3 movies. Gangs of Wasseypur Part 2. I should not have mentioned this movie, but I did it. Queen and Ludo.
Rajkumar Rao, because he was there in Gangs of Wasseypur.
Yeah, okay. Have you seen Ludo?
Yeah, it's a very overrated film because of Shashank Dai. I found out that it was heavily plagiarized. I don't support plagiarism, yeah. So
yeah, I think मैले शशाङ्कजी हेरेपछि चाहिँ कस्तो scene by scene copy and the claim again like Anurag Basu saying that no script, nothing, we came up सबै त्यो नभनेको भए if there was no genuine attempt to hide this. Like credit not they were inspired by is so but for me like Sattu Bhai is such an iconic character. Like
I enjoyed the film. But yeah, मलाई चाहिँ डिरेक्टरसँग रिस उठ्यो त्यो थाहा भइसकेपछि.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, final bonus question है त अब जति धेरै movies name गर्यो त्यति धेरै points you'll get. अब अलिकति गाह्रो छ तर यो name movies of Madhuri Dixit which does not feature any of the Khans or Anil Kapoor. And your time starts now.
डेढ इस्किया आज नस्ले गुलाब ग्याङ.
So you get 15 more points to this, so which is great. I mean, there are other movies as well, which is like more ali purano halko. Kalank is one which people tend to remember, right? Baki are all like Khalnayak, purano like Yarana and Mohabbat, and then that Selab wala movie which made her the Tak girl. And 15 points, like I'm gonna calculate, right? There's 75. Nobody has gotten beyond 40, I think. So I think you're the clear winner. Okay. So that was our movie trivia. Now we'll move on to the final segment. And this is where I would want you to sort of go through or reflect upon all the movies that you have seen, your love for movies, and why this has changed your life, why it is still important for you to see movies. Also, the thing that you mentioned about why movies is not just a form of escapism, how it has the power to not just change the social beliefs, but also construct those social beliefs or perpetuate those social beliefs as well and stereotypes as well. So I'll ask you one particular question and I'll ask you to, give a very thoughtful answer. Just simple question, but try to gather in all your movie going experience to answer this question. This will also be evaluated based on the depth and the sincerity and the honesty of your answer. The simple question is, why do you watch movies?
Personally, say for me, movie ko aba different values a different lifetime, different experience movies ko mero value shape gare pani. For me, movies, it has always been a form of escapism. म सानैदेखि मुभी हेर्थेँ कि अनि when most of my friends were like 12-13 वर्ष हुँदाखेरि what do you want to be भन्दाखेरि they used to say about doctor, nurse, engineer and blah blah blah. त्यति बेला नै I used to say like I want to become a filmmaker भनेर. I literally used to watch movies त्यति बेला like बच्चा 2-3 वर्ष हुँदादेखि नै. It's also a form through which I can express. मलाई चाहिँ यो मिडियमबाट चाहिँ मेरो अब मनमा लागेको कुराहरू होस् या मेरो पोलिटिक्स होस्, मेरो आइडियोलोजिज होस्, मेरो भ्युज होस्, मेरो इमोसन्स होस्, त्यो चाहिँ म देखाउन सक्छु जस्तो लाग्छ. अनि या इट हेज अलवेज बिन अ फ्रेन्ड लाइक टु मी. whenever I'm sad or whenever I'm upset or whenever I'm happy, I always watch something. त्यो बेसिक निड्स अफ लाइफ सोध्यो भने अरूले फुड, क्लोथ एन्ड सेल्टर भन्छ नि त. आई थिङ्क आई वुड से द फुड, क्लोथ एन्ड मुभिज हुन्थ्यो होला.
Oh, that's a very beautiful way to put it. Food, clothes, and movies. Definitely not Salman Khan movies.
No. Like, I never enjoyed Salman Khan movie. Like, Nepal mein itni there fan following. So there should be a study like why people are so obsessed with Salman Khan. I think it would be a very nice research topic.
Yeah, I think mostly men, or I guess the generation of non-men pani or women pani, when
Yeah.
Salman Khan was deemed to be the most handsome actor in the world, nahi, and good looking and everything.
Yeah.
I guess त्यति बेला men चाहिँ अब masculinity and
Yeah.
like macho कुरा अनि
Yeah.
त्यो कुरा interesting. इन्डियामा चाहिँ there's obviously the religion aspect of it as
Yeah.
well. And he's the bhai and not limited to Muslims, but
Yeah.
the Muslim demographic is a major factor. Nepalमा चाहिँ that's अलि different. Right? I've seen some Salman Khan movies like Race 3.
Yeah.
Which was like so bad that it was good.
Good,
Like,
yeah.
it was really good in a way. Like it was very funny. Sano scene like suit लगाएर dive हान्ने and के गर्ने and like scratching your head like त्यति जाबो गर्नलाई त्यो dive किन हान्नु पर्थ्यो त्यहाँसम्म त्यो उडेर जाने as opposed to you can always go easily and banker जस्तो आएर suit लगाएर no scratches nothing. डेजर्टमा त्यो गर्मीको लुगा लाउने अनिल कपुरले त्यसैले आई वान्ट वाच राधे पनि क्या इडियोटिक सिन्सहरू के रहेछ भनेर सो थ्याङ्क यू सो मच फर शेयरिङ थ्याङ्क यू सो मच फर बिङ अ पार्ट अफ दिस पडकास्ट है अनि आई थिङ्क यु ब्रट इन सम रियली डिफ्रेन्ट पर्सपेक्टिभ्स इन टर्म्स अफ वाइ यु वाच मुभिज हाउ यु वाच मुभिज also being such an important part of your life. Yeah, thank you Ankit for your time and maybe before leaving, if you can say how this experience felt, just talking about movies, and then we can wrap up all that.
So first of all, thank you so much, Subin for having me. Ekdam ramaiलो experiences because I've never participated in यस्तो खालको discussion where I can talk about my personal experience with movies. So it felt nice as well. Ani मैले कति जनाको यो एपिसोडबाट I feel there are few people जसको चित्त दुखायो होला overrated movie को नाम लिएर चित्त नदुखाउनु होला मेरो पर्सनल ओपिनियन हो त्यो I really enjoyed it अनि yeah I am hoping that I'll win the prize thing.
Yeah, you will definitely win it. I think quiz you will definitely win it, and I think you're in the running for the rapid fire as well because you were like आएन भने pass पनि हाल्थ्यो and then you move on to the next question. So, but sadly, I will not be deciding the rapid fire go evaluation. An independent panel of judges. You never know. You never know. We might have Robert Downey Jr. who will not give you the prize. It was also interesting when you mentioned that you might have hurt people go feelings when you mentioned certain people are like, oh yeah, Kevin Feige must be listening. Oh yeah, who's this Ankit? Who's this Subin? Okay, thank you so much. It was lovely.